How's it going, boys and girls? Data here, and welcome back to the Minnesota Wild franchise mode, episode 26, heading into the 2026 offseason. Here in Minnesota, we are coming off of a disappointing playoff end in the Western Conference Finals. We made it further than we ever have ever since year number 1, year number 6 playoffs, and we finally made it back to the Western Conference Finals, but we fell in 6 to the Dallas Stars, who ended up losing in 7 to the New Jersey Devils. It was a really fun episode. The thumbnail, I really enjoyed making it. Pat saying that thumbnail lives rent-free in my head. I know it does for a lot of you. Jay Birdie, the thumbnail though, Data. So I was really happy with that one. I'll throw it up here again on the YouTube screen for all of you to see. But anyways, it was a great there were a lot of good performances from guys like Jonathan Toews, 38 years of age, fourth line, 12 minutes a night, 14 points from him. Marco Rossi played well. Boldy, even Fiala, Greenway, Caprizov. We started to drop off a little bit. Patty Kane only had 10. We brought him in specifically for the playoffs. Only scored 10. Well, 10 is good, but I kind of say only because he scored, 18 goals in less than 30 games that he came since the deadline. Tory Krug only had 6 points. Brad Lambert, only 3 points, was a huge killer for us. The plus-minuses were not great. Mika Tarki, a -3 with 1 assist. He's supposed to be, an 84 overall. He has 86 offensive awareness, so that was pretty concerning. So needless to say, defense is a major topic heading into this offseason. Goaltending, we wanted to get Carey Price that Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, we could not. There are a lot of broken hearts in the last one. Kevin saying heartbreak for sure. Defense has to have a big revamp in the offseason. More in the Discord from him later. Michael says that he was getting his swole on and riding the wave of this playoff episode. That's what we like to hear. Love the ride, but every time the going gets tough, it seems to either it's the goaltending or the scoring that lets us down. We thought that we were going to go run wild to Lord Stanley and shock the world. But hey, we can't wait till next season, next episode, and we have Michael's emotional investment. I hope I have all of your emotional investment as well, because we can't succeed unless we come together as a team. And hey, at the end, humble thank you for featuring the comments. I'm the one thanking you for leaving the comments, so very much appreciated. Apo saying more of the same, just what a heartbreaking end. Team played okay at some points, but the last game and then overtime, typical AI. Sorry that my fellow countrymen were playing bad during the playoff run. Apple, you got to talk to them. Talk to Brad Lambert. Shake him a little. Wake him up this offseason, and we'll get back. So we'll hop into more of the comments a little later on, but mainly in this episode, of course, we start off with the draft, we'll move into the re-sign phase, we'll move into free agency, and then we'll most likely in this episode move to the beginning of the preseason next season, the beginning of the 26-27 season. That will conclude part 1 of the offseason. Very likely, unless everything just falls in miraculous place, we'll most likely have an episode 2 of the offseason that will allow me to do another 20-30 minutes of incorporating more of your suggestions, because unfortunately with the chemistry and stuff like that, I can go out and get new defensemen, new forwards, etc., but I don't quite know how they fit until the beginning, mid-September, when we're able to see the lines, and that's where we can make some more tweaks. So, for example, we had a lot of talk about revamping the defense, and I'm very excited and looking forward to getting a revamp on defense. There are some big names we want to go after, but it would probably be better if we wait until we can see who fits where in the lines once the season comes, and who grows over the offseason. Because if Botter finally grows, or if Tarky's up to an 87, that's a very different story than trading him today when he's an 84 and Botter's an 83 respectively. So we're going to kick it off with the draft, of course, and we'll see where we get in this offseason episode. So as always, lots of comments. I apologize if I can't get to yours in the video, but I most certainly did get to it outside of the video in the comments section. So again, if you don't really care about the comments and you just want to see what happens, you could probably jump ahead 10 minutes. But let's dive in. So we just briefly touched upon Leon Botter. Puffy and Beardo says, for the past 2 or 3 seasons, Botter has stayed at an 83, so trading him while we can still get something for him may be the right idea. Mike says, hey Data, absolutely shameful exit in the finals. 100% agree that defense needs to be the focus. You can make minor tweaks with the forwards, but ultimately the big splash is Russ Griffin. So just to quickly move that comment out of the way of the screen for just a quick second. Russ Griffin, even though it's a move we made last season, it's going to be a huge impact moving into next season. As next season we'll be adding in a piece, so we don't even need to do anything for. We just need to sign him on once the re-sign phase begins. And he is an 88 overall, maybe even higher by the time season rolls around. Medium elite, 8th overall selection in 2021 from the Rangers. They didn't want him. While they couldn't sign him, there was a massive contract issue there. We traded for his rights, and now we're going to reap the benefits. 5-star defense just puts a smile on your face. Look at all these attributes. 92 offensive awareness for a two-way forward. So super excited for Russ Griffin. Even if we do nothing else at forward, I cannot wait to see him in the lineup. Mike also says Price as our next backup is not a bad idea. Again, I think it comes down to player growth and the overalls. Definitely think that Shabbat or someone who fits all deep pairings is the way to go. Trading up in the draft makes sense for some of the guys that you mentioned, and I noticed a few gems we could watch out for. Great job. Love the videos. Go wild. Thank you very much, Mike. So looking at the draft class here, there are some great players moving to this draft, some medium elites. Actually, just the two-way forwards are nice, but really the top two right here, Martins and McKinnon, power forward and sniper. Medium elite, I would assume somewhere like 80 to 84. Elite, I don't know, 80 to 83 overall, I'd say that range for NHL ready as well. So really great players, just it'll depend. I don't know if there's much room for them. And unless the teams want to trade those picks, we probably won't think about them. But if the teams do want to trade those picks, then we could look into it a little bit more. Ryan saying, just found the channel a few weeks ago and I've been binging. Ryan, welcome aboard. We're so happy to have you. What a heartbreaker, yes. Would not sign Morozov long-term, as I've had medium elite goalies who signed long-term and then they don't grow. It could be due to the morale glitch. I've seen mixed reviews on that. As for fourth line center, I think Toews will really start dropping off during the season, so I'd look for a different option in free agency or maybe trade for a reliable two-way forward. I think Fiala and Kane can both go. On defense, not sure what to trade Krug for, but there's not enough spots for him. Great vid as always. Excited to see what you do in the offseason. Ryan, thank you so much for those thoughts. Andrew coming in says that TK47, Tory Krug, was part of or the full cause of both overtime game-winning goals in the playoffs. Flat out beat in the first one, handing it to Nelson in the slot and the end there. Just like in real life, his numbers make him look better than he is. Better luck next time, Data. Thank you very much, Andrew. As Tory Krug going out the door seems to be a common theme in a lot of the comments, understandably so. Hoot Hoot Boy says, I'd keep the whole squad together except for Krug, who gets traded for something now. See how the players fit in the team once the preseason starts, since Griffin is joining. Then do the decision. So Hoot Hoot Boy, I fully agree with that. I'm not. If there's something that really pops out at us, I can't wait. I'll jump on it. Fantastic. But if it seems to be the case that it's better to wait, then we will. Like, we know that we want to trade Krug. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be trading Fiala as well. Maybe we wait to see what Fiala's getting traded for. Maybe we need to save the cap space. Not sure, but I'm totally okay with waiting if we have to until the start of the preseason to make most of our moves, and we can just spend this episode more on free agency and the draft. Another couple comments about Krug. TCL1F3 says Krug and Botter with picks for Miro Heiskanen. Jackie B says, I think we should trade Krug and picks for Shabbat. So it's pretty much the consensus that Krug has to go. I think a guy like Heiskanen has too much value. If we go and look at our trading block and then go on, we click on it, we can see, why would Russ Griffin be on my block? We can see what kind of value Tory Krug has, and unfortunately it's not. I looked at Miro Heiskanen, and it's a full bar pretty much. So Krug, still great value. That's why I think it's good to trade him. As much as I love Tory Krug, and he's coming off another solid season, solid enough, scoring 51 points, it's a lot for a guy who's going to keep dropping an overall, and for a guy who doesn't fit the chemistry. It's difficult. I know he's going to drop an overall. That's okay, and he'll still produce. But while he still has value, and we can dump money and get someone who fits chemistry better, I think now's the time. Moving over to the Discord server now. Slim Shady saying, biases aside, I think you should move on from Krug. Doesn't fit the coach's scheme, isn't getting any younger, and anything we can get back for him is something. So all jokes aside, he has some biases, but I think that we should move on from Krug. That is my suggestion. Thank you very much, Mr. Slim. Other comments in the Discord server. Hef, you can just go ahead and pause here if you want to see Hef's idea of what we should look at for the lineup. He gives a pretty solid idea and is recommending that we go out and get a cheap veteran free agent, as well as an offensive defenseman or veteran 2-way D who puts up points on defense, and even Ethan Bear for the third pair. So that is Hef's idea of how our lineup should be looking heading into year number 7. Jiggle says the CPU tends to let super old players sit in free agency for a while. I would let Kane and Toews sit and see if their prices go down before looking at re-signing. I don't think Kane's going to be sitting around for too long, but Toews, I could see it. I could see Toews sitting there. So it'll depend on what kind of money he's looking for once the draft is over. Meanwhile, Pago Rabo says that there wasn't one player last in the playoffs who scored at a point-per-game pace. Toews was the best because he has high poise. I think Minnesota needs more of those players in order to take out an experienced team like Dallas. There's a great homegrown core, but I would look for experienced depth forwards with high poise in free agency. Thank you, Pago Rabo. Tic Tac agrees with Pago and says that the idea of refreshing the bottom six with poise guys is one that he likes. And the defense is tough because even though it really looks good on paper, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get amazing D chemistry with this coach. That's a big problem that we're having, unfortunately. And now closing it off in the comments is the man, the myth, the legend, Hobbsy93. Hobbsy, let's get to it. Everyone was excited in the Discord server when he dropped this one. There is a fair bit to unpack. You shared it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, what are you doing? A screenshot of a comment, that was one from Michael, saying that they can't wait to see what I suggest. So before we start, hey Michael, a little shout out for him. Thanks for being a fan of my suggestions. Now that that's done, up front, I like what you suggested with the top 9 in your summary screenshot. We had a summary screenshot at the end of last episode. So that would be resigning Kovyanov and rolling with Caprizov, Rossi, Tkachuk, Boldy, Griffin, Lambert, Greenway, Kovyanov, Sjogren, which means Fiala goes. I also like Kostin, but I don't know where he fits. I feel the top 6 is pretty much set for the most part. Only question is, would Lambert be the second-line right winger or third-line center? If he's second-line right wing, that leaves 2 spots for Greenway, Kovyanov, Fiala, Kostin. Then decisions have to be made on if they stay or play fourth line or get moved. I'm leaning towards keeping Kostin and then one of Greenway or Kovyanov. I believe Kostin has all greens on the third, which is a really good fit. Yes, he does, as well as the first. I'd also like to see Toews brought back as the fourth-line center. He played quite well in the playoffs, and I think he's the ideal fourth-line center. Also, hey, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, another run at Nicholas Engqvist, who we tried to get last year, who just won the Art Ross this year, who was going to be a restricted free agent. Could be intriguing, although he would knock Lambert to third-line center, and then there's a bigger logjam. But he's a star, and if it works, it is worth it. Doesn't change the Toews fourth line suggestion. On the blue line, I think Krug's time is finished, getting older, not a Ryan Suter situation. There's younger guys to take over. That leaves us with Sergachev, Ellington, Correa, Botter, Tarky, Valen. 6D, and that's a pretty young group. I think Tarky could get moved maybe for a more veteran defenseman, maybe Thomas Chabot, just to help shoulder the load so it's not all younger guys. Yeah, exactly, maybe like Chabot. So I think the next man to go would be Correa, but I think that depends on free agent options or if we trade back to draft the NHL ready guy. There was an NHL ready prospect that we're thinking about in the first round. In net, if price is cheap, you could bring him back, but only for the third goalie and goalie insurance. I think it's time to roll with the kids in Morozov and Kozevnikov. Again, depends a lot on overall growth. As for the draft, not too much. Could trade up for the Bourdon. There's a guy, Bourdon, I think is medium elite late in the first round, which wouldn't be a bad play, or trade back for the D-man, or just trade the pick outright for a first next year. Also a couple of gems in the mid-40s that aren't fully uncovered, but could be worth taking a look at. That's all I got, I believe. Go wild. Everyone was excited in the Discord after that one, like I said. Doggy says, woo Hobbsy. Slim says, you wrote an essay. F says, my man is going for his master's degree in theoretical franchise motory. So again, if you are not in the Discord server, hop in there. Now comes time for the draft. So looking at the draft class itself, we are picking 28th. So at 28, not a lot of interesting things, I think. We got Louis Bourdon, who is a medium elite, likely two-way forward, 18 years of age. He is similar to Henrik Zetterberg, but 3 years away. So that means he's probably a low to mid 60 overall. Not bad. But meanwhile, there's also another guy here. We got Christian Ledden, medium top 4D. I think he's an offensive defenseman because he's similar to Subban, and he's NHL ready. That's likely 76 to 79 overall. So, and that doesn't mean he's going to play in the NHL, but it does mean it's a good start. He's starting at a good point in his development. And as an offensive defenseman that are very scarce in the NHL, I really like Ledden, and I think I'm going to go for him. I would like to get Bourdon and Ledden, but there's a lot of solid picks later on. It'll depend on the tradability of moving up for that pick. If we could get both of them, that would be fantastic. And again, if a top 3 team wants it, or a top 2 team wants to trade their pick, that would change up everything as well, but it'll all depend on the other teams. All right, so without further ado, it is draft time here in Minnesota, or wherever this draft is in 2026. Any picks want to be traded? No, doesn't look like it. Ooh, none at all. First pick that wants to be traded is pick number 12. So don't think that's going to happen with the LA Kings. Like, even let's just look at it for fun. If we were willing to trade for our 28th pick as well as Tory Krug, let's say, that's a fair bit of value. Putting those two together, let's look at the value. Yeah, and even LA would be over the salary cap anyways, but they still wouldn't do this. I would be shocked if they did that. I don't think that you really have to outweigh the value by a ton. So while we're here and while we have time, I'm really down to just trade away the rights of players we know we aren't going to re-sign. So just fine trade. I'm not sure if anyone has the even cap to take on like the 10 million of Patrick Kane. But if we could just look at reverse trade value, I don't know, like Sami Vatanen, he's not getting re-signed. Yeah, no trades found, understandably. Maxime Comtois, he doesn't want to re-sign with us. So yeah, there we go, 7th. We get Nathan Beaulieu, Matt Zuccarello, or just a 7th. So, you know, I'll take a 7th down the road. 2027, 7th from the Oilers, maybe. Yeah, why not? 2027 7th from the Oilers. Comtois said he doesn't want to re-sign. I already looked at the contract negotiation screen. So may as well get a 7th for something. Kevin Hayes. Anybody wants Kevin Hayes? Really? What? People want Kevin Hayes? And now New Jersey wants to give me my 7th round pick in 2027. I guess I traded them there. Voracek, Chalowski. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Why not? Kevin Hayes. Bang. Goodbye. So there's 2 7th round picks for us. Anybody else? Yeah, does anybody want Patrick Kane? It's a big cap hit. Oh, there's some offers. Yes, there are offers. Yeah, but I don't think I want to trade for another player that I know I'm not going to sign. Unless Voracek is someone, or even, I'll do my due diligence here. Give me a second. Voracek, 81 overall, depth forward with bottom 6 potential. Maybe fits the 4th line, actually. As a playmaker, is that the craziest thing? Like, I know I'm not keeping Kane, so why not just trade him for someone that, instead of having a 0% chance of keeping him, there's a 5% chance that I keep him. So Voracek wouldn't be a bad idea. Nathan Beaulieu is another option for us. He's a 78 overall, 2-way D. No, it's not going to happen. Nathan Beaulieu, désolé mon ami. Matt Zuccarello. If we look at skaters matching the block. 79 overall, bottom 6. No, not going to happen, playmaker. So, you know what? Pittsburgh, let's do it. Why not? This pick's about to happen, so let's see if we can just make it under the wire here. LA is about to make their pick. Patrick Kane, trade him to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Jakub Voracek. Bang. Welcome. Just a couple players getting their rights swapped. No biggie. First overall pick goes to the LA Kings, and they will select the center power forward. Yes, Martins, medium elite, 82 overall. Great stats, power forward, 5-star shooting, of course. Lovely. Anyone else with 1 year left on their deal, a little expiring deal that we can look to move? Sergachev, he has an extension set. Kovyanov, we're going to be trying to get back here. Voracek, Benjamin Lajoie, Toews. No, that's pretty much it. Goaltending, we could look to trade Carey Price, but again, I'm down to maybe try and keep Price if it works out. But no trades found, so okay, we'll deal with that later on. Penguins will select 81 overall medium elite sniper McKinnon, Rick McKinnon, 5-star shooting, wonderful as always. And the third pick to start to go down. Oh, is this another sniper? Reese Doig, and now I think it's a 2-way forward, right? Unless, yeah, there's a left wing 2-way forward, 81 overall medium elite, and then now it starts to really drop off. So the question is, do we trade up for Bourdon? We'd have to trade for like the 23rd overall pick for Bourdon. What picks could we have to trade for like an early 2nd round pick to get that defenseman that we want? We have the 49th. It wouldn't be, yeah, we could trade, because I looked at 49. There's no one I'm really interested in at 49. So you know what? Let's use 28 and something to trade up to wherever Bourdon is going to get picked. We'll take him. I know he can be a bit of a project, but he'll have value, and we'll see what he becomes. Bourdon, here is Louis Bourdon at 25. So yeah, we'll trade for 23 since Toronto wants to trade that one. I'll give you pick number 28, and then, I don't know, we have a lot of picks in this draft. Maybe I could throw in a rookie skater that I don't need. It shouldn't take much to make this happen. Here's Baikov. How about Malmi Vara? 51 overall at 19 years of age. Baikov and Malmi Vara to move up from 28 to 23. Trade accepted. Hey, thank you, Kyle Dubas. Sorry, I was just looking back at some of the last picks here. So now we can go ahead and simulate up to pick number 23 now with that new... actually, Guerin just went. Interesting. With that new selection that we just traded up for. Who else went where? Top 4D. Oh, yikes. So the Canucks miss out. They've draft a top 4D, and they miss out on an 81 overall medium elite two-way forward. That's a yikes right there. Some medium top 6 guys. There are even better defensemen here. Medium top 4 guys than those forwards that just went before them. High top 9, yikes. Top 6 forward, blah, blah, blah. All right, so here we are at pick number 23 now. There's still a couple players ahead here, Angelo Harris and Henry Shore, but we're going to go ahead and take Louis Bourdon avec le 23e sélection, coming from the Halifax Mooseheads of the QMJHL, 12 goals, 31 assists. On est très fiers de repêcher Louis Bourdon. 62 overall, medium elite two-way forward, as expected. He's going to be a bit of a project. Either he grows into that potential, it says he's 3 years away, or he becomes a trading piece. You know, we pretty much just trade Malmivara to be able to have him in our system, and I'm sure he has more than a half bar of trade value, right? If we go and just look at centers, and there he is, Louis Bourdon. Great trade value, and a fun name to say to boot. So we're thinking about Guerin as well. I was thinking about him. He's medium top 6 power forward, 3-star shooting, that's great, but a lot more value from Bourdon. So now we got to think about trading up for that defenseman. He's still a little bit down here. Ledden, he is at pick number 34, projected for pick number 34. But hold on, let me do something before I get myself caught here. Are there many other defensemen available? There's only one defenseman. Ooh, there's only 2 defensemen before him. So if a team wants to reach for defense, that's what makes me scared. I've gotten burned before trading for 33, and then he goes at 32 or something. So I'd rather go for maybe even 31 here. Maybe the last pick in the first round from the Devils. And you know what? The reason I like that, because the second round, the first pick is the Kings. So I don't want to trade a player or a pick to the Kings, a Western Conference team. I'd rather make this trade to the East. And you know what? We have like the 49th overall selection, but that's not going to be enough for sure. And I'm not sure what else we could really throw in here. Like if I give them a 4th, a 5th, and 2 7ths, or 3 consecutive 7ths, is that enough to get a first? Hey, okay, no need to cry. I was thinking I would throw in Kevin Fiala. Let's go. 31st overall. Any other defenseman went? So, see here, Gunnarsson, he went early. Okay, you know what? I think that was the right move. How many? Because if we go and make our pick now, who is still left? There's still one more D-man. Okay, so pretty much it was to make that trade with the Kings or with the Devils, and either way, I think I'm okay with doing that. Although we still have to give up a lot, I'm okay with it. Christian Ledden from Rogel BK in the SHL. A+ competition, had 11 points in 45 games. He has A's for a lot of stuff, B- on defense. Still, well, he's NHL ready. Still going to be probably a year or 2 away nonetheless, even though he'll have an overall between like 76 and 79. Medium top 4D, similar to PK Subban. Fingers crossed, please be an offensive defenseman. Christian Ledden, let's see what he is. All the way at the end of the first round. He is offensive defenseman. Let's go. And 77 overall. Medium top 4D. Best defenseman in the draft so far, I think. 3.5-star shooting. 84 offensive awareness. Thank goodness for realistic stats. Attributes. He has great skating. Decent defense. Oh, yes. Christian Ledden. You're going to have a good career, my friend. That's why I was really excited for this guy, because he's an offensive defenseman. I've taken risks before on guys, trading a pick or 2 before, but I really, 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 really wanted this player for being an offensive defenseman. That is so hard to find in these drafts. So I think that's pretty much it until our next pick. I don't think we're really going to be reaching for anything else. This guy Gargiulio, however you want to pronounce it, is also here as an offensive defenseman, but he's 2 years away, which doesn't have the same kind of attributes here. So he would have been great as well, but I wasn't as high on him, I would say. Not really a lot of guys here that I'm interested in. There are some good prospects for sure. In the 70s here, there's some low top. Yeah, this is where I'm interested. Around the 70s. That's where I'm interested. And next pick is at 83. So I think I will try and trade up for something in the 3rd round, but I'm okay with simming at least this 2nd round. So let's see what happens in the second round. That's a pick 63 we get to. So medium top 9, medium top 6D. So yeah, I would have been afraid to trade for Florida's pick or whoever that pick was. Did they trade it? I don't know. Or even Calgary. I would have been tight. It would have been tight. So I'm happy with the Ledden move. A lot of medium top 9s here. There's a medium top 4, top 4, top 4. Yeah, he's a 70 overall. Some good low elite. Yeah, low elite. Medium top 6, medium top 6. Medium elite Sexton. A lot of medium top 6 forwards here. A lot of medium top 9s as well. Any other elite candidates? Nope, none of those. So here we are in the in the beginning of the third round now. Anybody I'm really interested in? Low top 4D, low top 6 forward. Smirnov, Nikita Smirnov, possibly a sniper with A shooting. Ooh, that's tempting, A shooting. There is Junior Hughes here, who is 5 years away. Definitely not coming anytime soon, but medium elite. I think medium elite and 5 years away, we can find guys like that late in the draft. I'm not super high on Junior Hughes, despite him being highly ranked. There's Nazarov here, another sniper, A- on the shooting, 3 years away. And Smirnov is how many years away? 3 years as well, but bigger, 6'4". Power forward, Avery Courtnall, 3 years away. Playmaker, 4 years away. Good numbers, but you know what? I'm really tempted for the Smirnov guy. So let's try and trade for pick maybe number 67. Yeah, with a forward, I'm more confident. Let's trade for pick number 67. From the Penguins, they don't want to trade it, but Winnipeg does want to trade their pick, but that's risky to trade for the pick itself. I'd rather try and get Pittsburgh's number 63. So Pittsburgh, work with me, Bello. I will give you 83 for whatever I said I was taking from you. And I'll throw in, I have a lot of fourths next season. I'll give you a fourth next year. From 83 to 67, I'll throw in a fourth next year, and you throw in a fifth and a sixth, and then I'll work it out for next year. You're not going to do that? Nope. You'll throw in a fifth next year? Nope. Throw in a sixth next year? Still no. Isn't sufficient at all. So let me guess. Even straight up, you wouldn't want to do this. 7th in 2028. Too far off. All right. Straight up. Still too far off. All right, looks like I'm risking it and going to Winnipeg. So that's Vegas's selection. I'll give you back your third for Vegas's third. I give you a fourth next season, like you wanted, and I try and take back a fifth and a sixth, like we said, from the Penguins. What do you say to this one? Doesn't mean a trade bar particularly well. Okay, just a fifth then. Doesn't mean it particularly well. Okay, Toronto, make your selection. There you go. Low top 6 forward. There you go, Toronto. 83, how about a fifth instead? Just a third and a fifth straight up for that pick. Trade accepted. Fantastic. Didn't have to trade up the fourth, trade away that fourth. Please still be there, Smirnov? Yes, he is. Thank goodness. Low top 4D, low top 6 forward, low top 6 forward. Medium elite, 56 overall goaltender. And now we take the Russian sniper, Nikita Smirnov. Our scouts have him at 72, perhaps. Whatever. What do you got for me? 6'4", two-way forward. Please tell me good shooting. 3-star shooting. Two-way forward. With 85 deking, but 65 hand-eye, 88 speed, but 70 acceleration. I hate prospects like this. But good shooting. I don't know. Maybe it'll work out. Who knows? We'll look back at this day and laugh. But Smirnov. Next selection is not until pick number 100. I think we could probably go till then. There's still some good prospects here. Maybe we trade some of the fourths next year for the thirds this year. Maybe because it's guaranteed low top 6 forwards. Or we go to pick 100. And that's another. We've got another low top 6 forward probably. Maybe this goalie would go for Yakimov's. Even Holden Engel. He's a guaranteed medium top 6 forward. Ooh, tempting. Let's see. Let's try. So never mind that. Let's try a 7th next season. Still isn't sufficient at all. And too far off. All right, so 2/4 is not enough for a third. So I guess never mind, actually. That was all for nothing. Let's just forget it. A lot of good prospects. We worked so hard to scout them, and then I just can't have them, so it breaks my heart in the end. So let's see. Here they are. Low top 4, low top 6, low top 6, low top 4, low top 6, low top 4, top 4, top 6. Look, everybody's low top 4 or low top 6 here in this third round. Then they're going to medium top 9s. Medium elite offensive defenseman. Oh, Daniel Linglet. Offensive defenseman. 19 years of age, though. Really, yeah, that's a project and a half to be 59 overall at that age. That's a massive project. 4th round, low top 6, Timander just went. So like we said, we could go for the 3-bar medium elite goaltender here, Yakimov's. And I think that's exactly what we'll do. And then I'll try to get another selection to take Engel, who's a guaranteed medium top 6. So Yakimov, Sergei Yakimov's from Russia, another Russian, medium elite, 58 overall. Nice. Better than Hughes, who went before. We'll take him, 100th overall. Thank you very much. See, there's still a couple gems you want to try and go for. So I'm not sure if we necessarily have to trade up for that medium top 6 guy. I don't think so, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and sim to pick number 135. I'm going to let that guy go, because I'd rather get these elite guys instead of having to lose my picks next season. So who are my pinned players? That's 135. So closest to 135 is going to be this next guy going at 166. Robert Klingberg. 2 bars medium elite. Scouts say he's a gem. Goalie at 17 years of age. Let's see what the scouts... Were they right? And he is medium elite. Let's go. 48 overall. Another goalie in the system. But I'd rather have projects who maybe pan out and become elite than use high picks on someone I don't need and then it doesn't work out, right? I'd rather use the high picks on players I know I need and then take the shots later on. So Klingberg, they say he's a gem. Let's hope for the best. Pick number 197 is our next selection. And that'll be to take Halvardson, guaranteed low elite gem. That's what we'll do with pick number 197 here. Pick number 11 of the 7th round. It's a late one in this year's draft. We're going for a lot of later picks. Halvardson, there he is, from the SHL as well. Low elite, 50 overall, defensive defenseman gem. Let's go. Terrible numbers. He'll be a project, or he'll just be potential. And we'll try to trade for one more pick so that we can go ahead and take, who was it? The other guy that we had pinned here. Low elite, Steven Takashi. We could even go for the enforcer, Roberto Raymond. We could. So let me try for the last 2 picks in the draft, probably. So Dallas, I will happily trade you my 7th next season for your 7th right now. The fans are going to be cheering in the streets. Woohoo! And then the other pick from New Jersey. Let's see if I can get 2 7ths out of this. They think they're going to be... Why do they think that they're dancing in the streets for? Let's see. I'll give you... So another 7th. I'll give you... I guess I'll give you back your own 7th for your 7th now. The 7th that we got for Kevin Hayes. No, we got our 7th back for that. And I'll see, can I get a 7th from you in 2028? We're just 3 New Jersey 7ths at being traded. Woefully insufficient. And then, oh, cheering in the streets. Wow! Oh, what a joke. Okay, sim to pick number 216. Let's go ahead and make that selection. Thanks, New Jersey. So sort by potential, and we'll go ahead and take Takashi, Steven Takashi, who has terrible, terrible numbers, but he has low elite potential. He is 48 overall, low elite. Absolutely love to see that. And last but not least, possibly an enforcer. We don't know. He's 3 bars low elite, ranked in the 400s. The scouts found him in Liga. He's from Denmark. No, sorry. Is that Norway? Roberto Raymond, let's go. What is he? Is he an enforcer? He's a defensive defenseman. Oh, I didn't even see his potential either. But all right, that was quite a draft, my friends. Quite a draft. And he was actually... Okay, so he was low top 4D, 56 overall. That's great for the final selection of the entire draft. 217th overall. Love it. So Levasseur, he's B-rated. He's an assistant coach. Will he want... He wants to be a head coach? Yeah, not going to happen. I'll give you a nice juicy contract, but there is no way you're getting that kind of, that you're going to want to take that probably. You know what? I'll probably let Levasseur go because he's not going to want to accept that. So I'd rather get Patty Marleau signed on. So Levasseur, can I just let you go? No, I can't just let you go. Can I fire you? Yeah, I can release you. So I'm going to release Levasseur. And Marleau, your time to shine, Bello. I'll promote you to NHL from goalie coach to assistant coach. Nice juicy 5-year contract at 900K. Come on, you're B-. Come on. You know what? Even 8 years. Let's go, Patty Marleau. And then we also have to re-sign Zadorov, AHL associate coach. He's C-rated, so we shouldn't be crying about this. Offer him that, whatever. Igor Zadorov. And then for the scouts, I'll go through and re-sign all of these. Great, that's all taken care of. Blah, blah, blah. And here we go. Time to hit the contracts. So we have $21.4 million to play with, and the biggest question that I have is how much will Russ Griffin want to sign on for? Russ Griffin, let's hear that demand. He wants 9.275. We could keep him. Okay, so we could keep him for 4 years, and then we retain him as an RFA. Yeah, that's what we have to do. We have to do that. We could go 8 years for pretty cheap, actually. But I'd rather go 4 years as an RFA. I think that makes the most sense, because even if we do 15% of that, so 15% of 9.125 would be 7.756. So 7.775 we would sign him for. 4 years at 7.775 if he wants to sign on for 85%. If we wanted to give him an 8-year contract, he would be wanting 9.925, which would be 8.450. So 8 years at 8.450. Not a bad deal. So we get 4 years less, but we save like, what, 800K? 600K? Is that really worth it? 4 extra years, but then he's a UFA at 31 as opposed to an RFA at 27. I'm really tempted to go for the 8 years. And you know what? We have the time. If he's willing to sign an 8-year contract at 8.450, medium elite, 23 years of age, already 88 overall, who knows how high he'll keep going. I think this is a steal. I wouldn't mind paying the 600K extra per season to get 4 extra seasons out of him. Even though he'd be a UFA at 31, it would be, I'd rather do that than having to go in after 4 seasons. We sign him for 4 more seasons at an extra $3 or $4 million per year when he wants 11, 12, and there's inflation and everything. So let's see what he says to that. Next up on our list here, Spence Hjogren. We definitely have to sign him to his entry-level deal. No problem. 3 years, $1 million per year. Sven, can't wait to have you on board. Alexander Kovyanov. He had not a great season at only 37 points. But you know what? It was only his second season. He was playing full-time third line. I'm pretty happy with how he played. In the playoffs, he was solid enough. Up to an 84 overall. He's our third line center next season, most likely. Even third line of the future. I like him a lot. So we could sign him to the 1-year deal for whatever, does he want to re-sign? Yes, so for whatever, 2.6, 2.7, whatever, for 1 year. Keep him as an RFA. Or we kind of go for a 4-year thing and sign him to 4 years, $3 million. Honestly, I'm more interested in doing the 1 year 3.05. We can get him for 2.6. I'd rather do 1 year 2.6 and see what we're looking like in terms of growth and depth next season, as opposed to committing like 3 or a little more than 3 million for the next few seasons for our third line center. So 1 year 2.6 for Kovyanov. We keep him as an RFA. See what he says to that. Jakub Voracek does not want to re-sign. It was a little bit of a risk. Oh, what? He wants 6.1 million. What did he do last season? He scored 41 points in 59 games. Good for you, but come on. All right, forget it. So we lost Kane for nothing, but we were going to lose him for nothing anyways. Come on, Jakub Voracek. It would have been great for having him on the 4th line depth, but goodbye. That's not going to happen. Chekovich, he wants a 2-way deal? Yeah, I can do that for you. No problem. I'll give you a max 2-way deal. Actually, not even. I'll give you 900K for a 2-way deal. Yeah, he's good depth. Kaut is great depth as well, but he wants a 1-way deal. He does want it. I'm more down for a 1-year kind of thing. Could probably get him at 1.325 at 85%. So let's try that. 1 year, 1.325 for Kaut. Maybe our full-time 4th liner. Jonathan Toews now. Okay, that's good. His demand came down. Yes. So I would expect him to start next season probably at a 78 overall with the top 9 potential and all that. But nonetheless, he has great poise. He has great face-offs, great defense. If we can get him for 85%, which is 1.150 for 1 year, that is more than great. Happy to have that. Axel Anderson, why not? He's been okay in Iowa. Give him 2 years. I'll take care of the rest of the guys here. Sami Vatanen, goodbye. And I think everyone else will get re-signed, or at least, yeah, everyone's going to be given their entry-level deals. Guskov, I'm not sure about him. I'll take care of that quickly. Give me a second. So I have a lot of new faces in Iowa next season. Montgomery, Domingue, Pillman, and Lefebvre all coming in. Great potential from a lot of them. Montgomery still trade bait with medium elite at 20 years of age. But Cade Domingue with that 5-star shooting, I can't wait to see what he does. Half a star senses, half a star puck skills, but somehow he scores. Somehow he scores. So we'll see what happens with them. Lefebvre, Pillman. I gave contracts to everybody, actually. Guskov, he is a playmaker, which helps for chemistry. Lajoie is a defensive defenseman, helps for chemistry. CC's just a legend. So if there's so many people in Iowa, we'll trade them. All worried, no problem. Goaltending situation now. This is going to be tough here. So Stanton, definitely medium elite. Get him signed up. He wants $1 million? I don't know about that. Wallstedt does not want to re-sign, so I don't know if I'm going to... Yeah, I'm not going to bother myself doing that. I'm just going to go and qualify him. Morozov now is a big question. Do we go for the 3 years that keep him as an RFA, or do we go for an 8-year deal and he gets paid a bit more? I'm not sold on him being the starter. I don't want to go 1 year. I don't want to go 8 years, but I think 3 years to keep him as an RFA is a smart move and a pretty cost-effective move. So at 85%, that's $1.02 million. Let's see if I can go 3 years at $1.05 for Morozov. I'd like him to be the starter next season if he grows well enough. So who knows? That could be a crazy good contract. Carey Price does want to re-sign. I'm thinking that he could be our third goalie and we move out Hunter Jones. It's going to depend. I'm like 85% sure we're going to re-sign him to be our third goalie, but I'm going to wait and see what's up with Russ Griffin and everybody else, what's going on with the money situation. Let's advance a day. I feel like, what? Patrick Marleau, you're a goalie coach? I'm offering you assistant coach. Same for Zadorov, these coaches, man. Let's get through the scouts. Let me just fly through all these guys. We're going to see who signs on. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody, let's just fly through everybody. Then we'll see what happens. Okay. Now, who are the expiring deals? Okay, Griffin said no. I didn't see why. Probably should have looked at that. Kovyanov said no. Toews also said no. Everyone else said yes. We're still sitting at $21.18 million. So we didn't like the 8.4 whatever for 8 years. Let me try, I don't know. Let's just try 8.5 for 8 years, and we'll see what he said to that this time. Alex Kovyanov didn't like the 1 year deal, 2.6 or whatever. So let's be fair. He's a third line center. 1 year, 2.750 for Kovyanov. And for Jonathan Toews, let's just give him what he's asking for. A little less, but closer to what he's asking for at 1 year, 1.3. And yeah, that's it. Advance a day here. More scouts signing on. Wonderful. Easy decision for Toews. Kovyanov, not enough to entice me at this dollar value. And Griffin rejects it because it's due to the duration. Alright, so Russ Griffin, he wants 6 years. Really in the worst possible place. Not 4 for RFA and not 8 for the max. So I really want the 8 years and I'm willing to pay for it. I don't want to go 6 years. So let's try 8 years at 8.750. When I brought you in here, I was serious, Russ. 8 years, 8.75. And Kovyanov, he wants to resign, so I don't know why he's being hard about this, but I'll give him 1 year at 2.850. How about that? Advance a day. Offer's not enough to entice me, and again, the duration. Ugh. Before moving forward with another contract offer, I need to do a little bit of a trick here. Van Ryn, I'm going to have to demote you to NHL assistant coach for the moment. Patrick Marleau, I'm going to offer you the associate coach job just like you always wanted. You'll be my associate coach for $868,750 a year. You'll sign that contract and then I will promptly demote you. Back to the contracts here. Griffin and Kovyanov both giving me some issues, but they're still RFAs, so whatever. I might have to settle for a 4-year deal with Griffin, but I'm going to try again for those 8 years. We did like, what, 8.750 last time? So let's try 8 years at, we're pushing it, but 8 years, $9 million for Griffin. I still think that's a pretty solid contract, especially considering the inflation that will come into the league in the next, within those 8 years. Alex Kovyanov, he says he wants to re-sign, so I don't know why he's giving us a hard time. 1 year at 2.950 will be the offer. Advancing a day now. There we go. It was an easy decision, says Kovyanov, and decides to reject again Russ Griffin. So I'm going to qualify Griffin now, just to make sure our bases are covered. And then aside from that, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on the 8-year deal. I think this will be my final offer. 8 years at 9.250. And if that doesn't work, I might actually wait for July 1st. I think that's what I'm going to wait for. Instead of going for those 4 years, I'll just go for July 1st. Russ, I'm not... Patrick Marleau, B- rated goalie coach. Hey, you want to be the associate coach? Hey, to be honest, man, I'm not really thrilled with what you've offered me. But after mulling it over, I decided to accept an 8-year contract worth more than $750,000 per season. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate you doing me the favor. Griffin says no again. Goodbye, Griffin. We'll see you on July 1st. Coaching staff here. Marleau, it still says he's the goalie coach? What? Really? Okay, sounds good to me. Re-promote Van Ryn to associate coach. Marleau can become the assistant coach, like I said he would. And now we just need a new NHL goalie coach. Eichel can stay. Yeah, he wants to stay as AHL head coach. And yeah, I think that's it for the coaching. Tallender didn't re-sign as a scout, but aside from that, all the scouts are on board. So then finally, it's just Griffin. I'm actually not going to offer him a contract. I'm going to wait till July 1st now. 8 years at 9.250 was my final offer. Finally, we just have to look at, of course, we have to qualify Morozov, which we're not sure what's going to happen there for the money as well, because he didn't want to re-sign to it was 3 years, so we gave him the 3 years, 1 point whatever. So actually, there's no need for me to wait. Let me try 3 years at 1.2. And then Carey Price, we said, oof, we have the money, so let's try the 1 year 1.6, which is 85%. We have the money, and as a third goalie, I'm okay with that insurance, even though he'll probably drop to an 80 overall. 1 year 1.6 Carey Price, we can try to get him that cup. Aside from that, everyone is signed on or qualified. Looking at unsigned players, actually Valen, we could probably sign Valen right now. No need to wait for Valen because he'll definitely be in our lineup next season. Last say Valen, 5th overall pick in 2025. So I'll get that out of the way as well. Give him his 3-year entry-level contract. Ledden here. Do we want to sign Ledden right away to the AHL? Most likely, but I'm going to just wait and see just what's up. Like, I know I'm probably going to sign him, but I just want to see what his overall is. So, like, if he stays at a 77, maybe he stays in the juniors, in the SHL or whatever, but in Europe. But if he goes to like a 78, 79, then we'll definitely get him signed up. All right, Valen, it's a dream of mine to join the team. Price says we didn't offer him the money that he needed. And Morozov, easy decision to renew the contract. Lovely. And now we didn't sign Zadorov. Fantastic. And here we are on July 1st. So as always, give me a quick moment to go sort through all the scouts and hire new scouts that may be available. Let's see any good... Yeah, looks like there's some good A-rated scouts in the NHL at least. So let me just sort through where we can improve our staff. So actually not too much to take away from the scouting. I think we only sent out 1 contract, so nothing really big there. Let's hop into free agency. We have a ton of money. Not sure if we want to make really any big moves here, but we have the money to think about it. Of course, Niklas Enqvist is out here. We'll be thinking about him without a doubt. But let's just quickly sort by UFAs and sorting by overall. So Jack Eichel's out here, wants a ton of money. Eli Tolvanen, a legend. Top 50, Bo Horvat. Connor Nylander. Luke Kunin's at an 86 overall. I'm looking for some good deals here. 3.6 for Kiefer Bellows. That's solid for a power forward. Zadina, Garland, blah, blah, blah. I'd be more interested in looking into the defense here. I see Brady Tkachuk wants a cheap contract. Defense, oh, no one. 83 overall, the highest, and mostly two-way D, which is not ideal. Gabriel Carlsson, I am interested in Gabriel Carlsson. Now, I was thinking about defensive defenseman early on. He fits deep pairing 2 and all power play lines. So if we got a defensive defenseman, there's not a lot in the NHL. I believe Gabriel Carlsson's the highest rated real defensive defenseman, and being a real defensive defenseman, that means that he has the right pinch, shoot, cycle, blah, blah, blah biases that the generated players would not have. So Gabriel Carlsson is super tempting for that reason. Now, if we were to go out and get Gabriel Carlsson, that means he slots into the second pair D, and then where do some of these other players go? Could he be the guy that swaps out with Tory Krug? Possibly. But then on the second pair, we would have maybe Carlsson, and we wouldn't be able to play defensive, because if the top pair is Sergachev and Ellington, the second pairing can't be Carlsson and Botter, 2 defensive defensemen. So that's the issue there. And then the third pair would end up being Botter and like Tarky. But the second pair could be Tarky and Carlsson, and then Botter plays third pair, which I feel bad doing, but maybe that just means he's the odd man out. I don't know. Gabriel Carlsson, though, all that to say, he is very tempting. The market is insane. 82 overall defenseman asking for over $6 million. Look at this guy. Josh Mahura wants 4.775 as an 81 overall. Crazy. How about the goaltending market? How does that look? Got Connor Hellebuyck, of course. Binnington, Leonard, Saros. Saros would be great. He only wants 5.8. Oh, man. So, it's another question. Do we roll with Morozov and Kovyanov, who we're going to hope to grow, or do we get somebody else? And I think that's the answer, because if we got someone to actually play between the pipes and have Morozov be a backup again, Kovyanov stuck in the AHL as an 80 or an 81 overall, it doesn't work. It's a tough year, but it doesn't quite work. So as always, want to quickly just sort by potential in UFAs. Any gems we could try and go after. Hey, Donaghy. We drafted Donaghy. Sniper in the 4th round. He is a free agent. Vigilante here, Philip Vigilante. Two-way D, who I don't think will get much ice time, but hey, why not? With low elite potential, you never know what could happen. But low elite and 23 years of age, don't like that. Nick Suzuki's a free agent. Anybody else down here in the earlier 20s? A bit too costly, though. Like, you look at Duke Lyles, sniper with 4-star shooting. Lovely. But he wants a one-way deal? Same as guy Crooks here is a power forward with 4-star shooting, a former first-round pick. You know what? Who knows what these guys will become? I'd rather have these guys under contract. There you go. I'll give this guy... He's not interested in a two-way deal, but I'll give him 1 year, 0.850. And then Lyles... Maybe I can't sign Lyles. He wants a one-way deal. Oh, he's willing to go... Oh, wait, hang on. What? He's willing to go 7 years... at 0.8. Okay, if you want to sign 7 years at 0.8, I'll do that. 0.850 even. Why the heck not? I think that's all that's all I'll do for potential signings. But we do need to free up the contract spots, and I think now is the time where we got to look into trading Tory Krug and or Kevin Fiala, because there's no point keeping them here when we know that they are out the door. Tory Krug. So a name that we've been looking at a lot the last few episodes has been Thomas Chabot. He's a two-way D who fits all D pairings, supposedly. Has a lot of trade value. He signed for 2 more years at $8 million, which is nice. But he is a two-way D, like we said, which he's like an offensive two-way D, which is nice. But 5-star defense and all that, it's going to be tough for the chemistry to work out. But I'm willing to take that risk to get him on board. Even if it's only a +1, I'm okay with that. So if we could throw in Braylon Montgomery to this deal... and then we can get something back from Ottawa, I would be interested in this. Colton Parayko is on their block. Defensive defenseman, maybe fits deep pairing 1, but he signed... It's the last year of his deal. Colton Parayko is an interesting option. Good plus-minuses there. 87 offensive awareness, 4-star defense. That's not the craziest thing to take back Colton Parayko. Any rookie skaters that we could look at? Yeah, definitely some. Homo Hacken, a sniper who they just drafted with 4-star shooting. Like, would that be crazy to take him back? Like, what would Ottawa say to this? It does not meet the block. It does not meet the block at all, and the value is not there whatsoever. Even just straight up, I'm not sure if this would happen. Let's see what Ottawa says to this. Doesn't mean it. Okay, value's not there whatsoever. Forget it. Could just try for a couple of 3rd-round picks. Value is not there whatsoever. 1 3rd-round pick, not there whatsoever. Straight up, value is not there whatsoever. Really, Krug and Montgomery. Yikes. So. Chabot may not really be possible. Maybe we throw in Kevin Fiala right away here. He doesn't have a lot of value, though. His value has dropped. It's gone off a cliff, actually. So Kevin Fiala on an expiring deal. Tory Krug on an expiring deal. A medium elite gem prospect who we drafted in the 2nd round but has really wonky stats for Thomas Chabot. What do you say to this one, Ottawa? Still not quite far off in value. I really don't have much else that I can offer here. So we may not be able to get this done. I can throw in a couple of 4th-round picks, but I don't know. Still quite far off. Doesn't mean okay. Final offer, just the 2nd, and okay. Well, Thomas Chabot's not going to happen then. Look how much value we outweigh here. So yeah, let's just go to Trade Finder and see what we can get for Tory Krug then. So Tory Krug, no trades found. Yikes. How about just for Kevin Fiala straight up? That would definitely, we got a lot of, like, 3rd-round pick offers. Yeah, 48 offers, 3rd and a 5th, Will Butcher, Jonas Brodin. We can get a lot of 3rd and 5ths here. We can get Vince Dunn, John Merrill, Luke Green, Zach Sanford, some low top 6 prospects, Adam Larson. Adam Larson's interesting because he's another defensive defenseman who's real, which means that his biases could be okay in terms of the coaching strategies. Maybe fits deep pairing 1. I don't know. It's just because the market is so thin out there. Like, just looking at offensive defensemen in the NHL, like, either they have a ton of value or then they just really start to drop off, like right here, right into the 82s right there. So, I don't know if we wanted to trade Tory Krug. Maybe we could get a guy like Adam Boqvist. He's signed big time. That's a big contract. He fits maybe deep pairing 1 or 2. I remember seeing that. That wouldn't be the worst idea for Adam Boqvist. Trading within the division. They already have John Klingberg out there. We're not going to be able to get a big name like Makar, Hughes, Drysdale, and they don't fit either. So, Evan Bouchard has a lot of value. You know what? That wouldn't be the craziest thing to try to go for Adam Boqvist, an offensive defenseman. Worst case, he doesn't fit, and I guess we have to trade him once the season hits. Already the value's close here. Let's just see what they say when we offer it. Value's not there whatsoever. Classic answer. I'm scared to give them Kevin Fiala. He's going to score against us for the next 50 years. So, I guess we could throw in Braylon Montgomery. I could just trade Montgomery straight up, but if we give Montgomery and Krug, then we could really get a good return. They have no rookie skaters, so we could go to the draft picks here. Man, they're a terrible team. 2/3 and a 4th. Trade accepted. I like it. Thank you very much, Chicago. Adam Boqvist, welcome to the team. I want you to be a big name for years to come. Tory Krug, thank you for your service here on this team. We signed you to that big contract, and you lived up to it. He won a Norris Trophy in his 2nd season here, or was it his 3rd season? It was his 2nd full season he won. No, 1st full season he won the Norris Trophy, and he was just a monster when it came to offensive production. So Tory Krug, we will miss you. He's staying in the Central Division for a long time here, from St. Louis to Minnesota to Chicago. He is still going to do good things for them. They get a good prospect in Braylon Montgomery in terms of high potential, and seems like he did well in the juniors, but I just really don't like those stats. To have 2-star defense because he's boosted by 99 shot blocking but 73 defensive awareness, I'm not super thrilled with that. So if we drafted him as a gem, we thought he was going to be great, but then the wonky stats kind of turned us off. So Adam Boqvist, newest member of the Minnesota Wild, and hopefully the chemistry works out, at least for the +1s. I don't know what else. And so we still have a solid amount of money, but we still have to remember to sign Russ Griffin. We could use that all on Nicklas Enqvist, but we need to sign Russ Griffin. So I think we could probably just say forget about Nicklas Enqvist, unfortunately. Let's try again for the 8-year deal. Now he wants $10 million for 8 years, but if we could go 8 years, I don't know, 8.850, that would still be a solid deal. We have our time. We can take our time with him. I don't think anyone else is going to give an offer, because he sat in free agency when he was with the Rangers until past December 1st, and no one gave an offer. So we'll give that to Griffin. That would still leave us with like $7 million free, which means we could, in theory, go and try to get what's his name? Look at this guy, Chelios, a defenseman on the Rangers. Another player who the Rangers are letting go to restricted free agency. We could try and send an offer for Gabriel Carlsson. He does already have an offer for $5.3 million. He's 29. That's a long deal. Florida wants Gabriel Carlsson. Do we do a 4-year 5.5 for Gabriel Carlsson? That's tough. That is expensive, because what kind of contracts will we have to be signing next season? We got to be thinking ahead here. When we got to think, who are the extensions that are coming down the pipeline, all expiring? We'd have to give Caprizov a contract and Boldy a contract. Yeah. So Caprizov would be wanting like $10 million per year. Boldy would be wanting close to the same. So we have $35 million in extension dollars right now. Caprizov and Boldy, bang. That gives us, we're down to already maybe, let's say $16 million. If we sign Carlson for 5.5, that leaves us with like 10.5. Then Ellington wants a contract for 6. That leaves us with 3-4 million of breathing room. Then I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, Mika Tarki as well. He wants, yeah. I don't think we can do it. We can only do a deal like that if we moved a guy like Tarki. And, you know, worst case, we could always trade for Gabriel Carlsson, and if we don't sign him. So I'm okay with not signing Gabriel Carlsson. But, you know, it wouldn't be the craziest thing to sign Boldy now while his overall is down at 9.7. He only wants a 1-year extension, though. That's weird. Because if we go more than that, it really gets expensive. He could go 3 years, 11. No. I don't want to sign Boldy at this time. That's too crazy. Meanwhile, though, Caprizov is down to go 6 years, probably $10 million. And I think he's deserved every dollar. 85% of that is 9.116. So 9.125 for 6 years. Let's just try it and see what happens. We have a long time to deal with Caprizov. So 6 years, 9.125. Even make it 9.150. Let's see what Kirill says to that. And I think we can just go ahead and continue. I don't think we need to wait for anything else. We sent our offers to the potential free agents. We sent an offer to that scout. We need a new goalie coach eventually. And we'll see what money is left over and who's left in free agency, because right now the prices are high, teams are interested, and I don't think we can afford to risk anything. So let's begin to simulate a few days here. Don't want to make that deal with Columbus. And we'll see who's on board. Jean Desharnais willing to accept the offer. I think we sent an offer to another scout, but I don't want... Yeah, perfect. Lubomir Bicek, I don't want you to come on board. I didn't need you. Philip Vigilant, welcome to the team. Decided to accept your offer. Thank you very much. Next up, Aaron Crooks, also extremely happy. That was like... So one of them was like an 8-year contract. So either way, both those guys are on great deals. Duke Lyles, you have not offered me the dollars I feel I deserve. That's okay, Duke, we got the other two. Pillman Wallstedt for Evgeny Sveshnikov, Jeremy Bracco in a third. That's quite an offer. And yeah, we also need to offer a contract to Jesper Wallstedt. So we still have $16.3 million. No problems there. Let's see what Russ Griffin has to say especially. And Kirill, wow, that's amazing. Kirill, easy decision to renew. That is huge. To have his scoring at just above $9 million, my goodness. Thank you, Kirill. Taking a hometown discount, I'd say. Thank you very much. Griffin rejects it again because of contract duration. So, fantastic. He still wants 6 years, which I'm not down to give him. So I'm gonna offer again. I'm just gonna keep going. 8 years, and let's try 8.925. I don't know. Worst case, we just wait until his demand starts to drop a little bit more as we go deeper into free agency. Rodin and Wallstedt for Tristan Jarry. No, thank you. Don't want to take on that cap hit. Eklund, no, that's not going to happen. Should have a decision after this day right here. Still rejects. Okay, so Russ Griffin, goodbye. We'll figure that out later. So with Caprizov signed on now, we'll have $27.695 million in extension for Boldy, Ellington, Kovyanov, Tarky especially, and then we'll see who else. So we still have to go and sign Jesper Wallstedt. There we go. He wants 1 year. He wants a one-way deal. But he's down to go 8 years at 8.2. Okay, you know what, Jesper, you got it. 8-year contract at 0.850. Whatever. These guys and their crazy deals. I don't see you being more than a backup on the team, but who knows? Back in free agency now. Patrick Kane, yeah, he's down to 6.1 as what he desires. Who else is still in here for the UFAs? We were thinking about a veteran fourth-line forward, right? So we could see what kind of veterans are out here. Like, Jakub Voracek, is he still around? Let's look at age here on the side here. Connor Sheary, 34 years of age. Who's older? Michael Ferland, 34. Zach Hyman at 34 could be a really good depth fourth liner. Ooh, that is tempting. Zach Hyman is a very good defensive player and is a fourth liner. Of course, do the due diligence, but I think Zach Hyman has my vote, especially as an 81 overall. 36 for Wilson. 40-year-old David Krejci, but bottom 6 potential. He's going to drop even more. Gabe Velarde is out there. Sheesh. But if we have... and even Puljujärvi. Wow. Medium top 9 potential. Yikes. So if we sign Hyman for the right side, then we have... or even on the left side. And then we have Kaut on the right. Toews at center. We still don't know what's going to happen with the power forwards. We don't know between Costin and Greenway. But just for depth, I'm very happy with a 1-year, 1.150 contract for Zach Hyman to be an 81 overall on the either on the fourth line or as a scratch. I don't care. I'm happily surprised that he was in free agency. So I'm gonna say let's sim like a month here, and let's see what Russ Griffin's wanting by the beginning of August. We also could have growth from Rodin as well, or other AHL players. So, hey, extremely happy to accept. Zach Hyman, welcome to Minnesota. And cash offer is most generous. No problem, Jesper. I'm glad you're signed on long term. We still just need to move Hunter Jones probably. So I'll do that once we hit August 1st. Canadians signed Bo Horvat and then want to flip him right away for 3 prospects. Goodbye. All right, August 1st. Where are we at? Griffin. Now he wants 1 year, 7.1 or something. Okay, now he wants 11.9. Okay. Looks like we're probably going to have to settle for the 4 years here because that 8-year deal is ludicrous. 85% of that is 7.798. So if we could go 7.8 for 4 years, that's a great contract, but he's going to want a lot more once it expires. At least we keep him as an RFA. So, hey, Russ, whatever, man. And that leaves us with quite a bit of money to do whatever else we want, at least for this season, whenever should it be like playoff push or whatever else. Hunter Jones here, where are you? Hunter Jones, what could we get for Hunter Jones? A 7th, a 7th, a 7th. Oh, 2 7s. Hey, Toronto. So Hunter Jones, he's signed for 5 more years, but we don't have the room for him anymore. with the goalie growth and all that. And I anticipate signing a depth goalie for a third goalie as well, who's better than a 78. So Hunter Jones, we had some great memories when you were starting because of Ben Bishop's injury, but I wish you all the best over in Toronto. 2 7th-round picks coming back our way. Thank you very much. So hoping to start with Morozov because Evnikov's already at a 78. So all we need really, because Wallstedt and Stanton are going to be in the AHL, all we need is that third goalie from free agency. I'm assuming there's still a lot of good free agent goalie options because they were wanting a lot of money, and there was a good amount of them. So looking at the goalies, Darcy Kemper. Yes, that's exactly the kind of goalie that I want. So we could get Kemper, Allen. There's a few options. Primo even still has starter potential. So I feel bad signing Primo, then he won't be able to really get to play much because he has medium starter potential. So I don't know. Maybe there's someone with poise though. Yeah, because we got to think about if we sign a guy, it's going for we need. It would be like an emergency situation where we need to get some dubs, not necessarily someone we want to have growing. Although Primo could grow higher than an 81 overall, only has 77 poise. Jake Allen with 80, Comrie with 80, everyone with 80. Malcolm Subban 82, and Connor Ingram with 75. Kemper, though, fringe starter potential, which means he's likely going to drop from 81 to an 80. I'm pretty much between Jake Allen and Caden Primo here. 2 Canadians goaltenders in the real world. How are the numbers looking recently for him? Not the greatest. And for Caden Primo, has he played much in the NHL? Yeah, he's played. Actually, those are good numbers in Laval and in the NHL. All right, Caden Primo, you know what? You've got my vote. Let's do it. Let's give him the 2 years at 0.8. Why not? Why the heck not? Simulate a week, see what happens. No, I don't want Bo Horvat. No, I don't want to trade my prospects. Caden Primo, extremely happy to accept your offer. Welcome aboard, Caden. Russ, come on, this guy. I see why the Rangers had so many issues with him. He really wants those 6 years. I don't know why. Now he's down to 1 year, 6.5 million. So for 4 years, now he only wants 9 million for 4 years. So come on, let's go 4 years, 8 million. It's more than I was offering before, and it's closer than 85% of what you were wanting. So 4 years, 8 million. Just sign the contract, have peace of mind, enjoy your summer, and let's just get you to training camp, Bello. Okay, time to edit this trade block because I am tired of getting offers for all my best prospects for junk in return. Russ, just sign it, Bello. I'm still getting crazy trade offers. Still rejects. What a joke. Now he wants 5.875. Bello, 4 years. What does he want for 8 years? Still a really high number. All right, 4 years. Now we want 8.825. I'm going to even get you closer. Let's go 4 years at 8.150. It's only like 700K less than what you're asking for. I'm trying to meet you here. You've literally just been stubbornly saying no, 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 and I keep trying to make it work. You and your agent. I don't know if you're representing yourself or what kind of tomfoolery is going around here. Oh, God, what a joke. 4 years, 8.5. You want 8.75? It's just 250K less. I'm not giving you 6 years. I'm either giving you a max contract or I'm keeping you as an RFA. I'm not letting you go to unrestricted free agency. Let's see now. There we go. I've decided to accept your offer. I look forward to making an impact on the team. Yeah, I sure hope so, buddy. Got off to a rocky start, but if you can redeem yourself, it all will be water under the bridge. Let's sim to the beginning of next season. Alrighty, time to see the lines, time to see the growth, time to see the chemistry. So, of course, this won't be how we keep it. Ooh, nice growth, nice growth. Let's quickly just presto changeo. Alright, so we're looking like something like this. First line stays playmaker, power forward, sniper combo, +3 with Kachuk, Rossi, Caprizov. Second line, to be expected that the chemistry would take a hit because Griffin is a two-way forward, but the line fit is good enough that we still get a +1, which is nice. Brad Lambert, he's up to 81 faceoffs, but I'd rather have him second line right wing than third line center, I believe. Third line center can stay Kovyanov with Sven Sjogren, our 15th overall pick in 2024. Medium elite two-way forward. He is 85 overall. He has 99 passing. I'm expecting very nice things from him. And hey, by the way, 5-star physical, 99 aggressiveness, 99 body checking, 99 strength, and 99 acceleration. Really good 99s out there. Playing with Kovyanov and Greenway. So playmaker, two-way forward, power forward. Even though Sjogren seems to be quite a playmaker, we have to see how he simulates and which players that putting him alongside which players maximizes both. Because if we get a good sniper like Boldy who shoots a lot and Sjogren ends up passing a lot, like if we see through 30 games he has 1 goal and 28 assists, then we'll know. Fourth line, Toews, Kaut, Kostin. Now, Klim Kostin, he has 1 year left on his deal. He fits our lineup wonderfully. Full checks for the third and the first line, meaning that he could, in theory, get a +5, especially on the first line, right here with Caprizov and Rossi. If we had a better, if we had Kovyanov, yeah, with Kovyanov, it's a +5 on that first line. So, you know, in theory, we could get him up to an 89 if the chemistry works right. There's not a lot of room for him. Jordan Greenway is signed for 3 more years at 2.6, and not as good of a fit, but still a very good fit. Kostin with 1 year left and a better fit. It's hard to say. Should we kind of bury him on the fourth line, then let him go? Or should we let him go right now because he has some value and try to just, I don't know, bring in Zach Hyman as our full-time fourth liner? Jonathan Toews, understandably, as expected, he dropped to a 78, but he'll still be good defensively and solid poise for the fourth line. Defense now. Sergachev, Boqvist. Boqvist is hopefully the Tory Krug of the future. He, in past years with the Hawks, alongside John Klingberg, who's maybe taken away a bit of his production, has had pretty solid numbers. Last year was rough, but the years before that were pretty good. And we're going to hope for a lot of big things from him. Ellington, Tarky, 84-85. Now look at this. Leon Botter, 23 years of age. We've given him a lot of chances. 354 games played. He's a +50, which is nice. He's been great the last 3 seasons in his plus-minus, but he's still an 83 overall, and I don't know if there's room for him here. And Sergachev, he's great as well. He costs a lot, but he's coming off one of his best seasons yet, with 2 goals, 47 assists. So I'm inclined to go Sergachev Boqvist here. Or we could try Ellington Boqvist and they get a +3. So 89 and 88 with their overalls, as opposed to Sergachev Boqvist, which is currently 90-87. Tarky's at an 84. His chemistry is decent, but not good for the second pair. And like we said, Botter and Valen, he's at an 81. That's his chemistry scheme fit there. And we also have Demetrius Correa, who is also at an 81 overall, low elite. So I feel like he kind of has to play somewhere. I don't know if I like him staying as a healthy scratch. So like in a really perfect world, like maybe we could trade Tarky and Botter to Ottawa for Shabbat. Shabbat goes here, Correa goes here, and then Shabbat, we also get back prospects and picks because that would be a ton of trade value. But Ottawa doesn't want to trade Shabbat, which means we wouldn't be getting as much out of the deal as we would be were we to trade Tarky and Botter separately or together for another piece. It could be a really elite piece. Maybe even an improved power forward, maybe a better first-line power forward. Matthew Tkachuk came here last season, 22 points in 33 games. He wasn't bad at all, though. So I'm not really inclined to trade him, but it's a possibility. Brad Lambert has a ton of trade value as well. He better start growing soon. 85 is nice, but it's more the growth. It's more than the growth. It's the production that we want to see soon. Goaltending-wise, Morozov only up to an 82, because Evnikov is at an 80, thankfully. But Caden Primo's here at an 81. So if either of them falter too much, Primo could come in easily. Should we get a better starting goalie? I don't know. It's a very difficult situation because I don't want Morozov to be a backup, and then Kozevnikov is listed as a backup, and he goes to the AHL, because in the AHL we already have Wallstedt and Clayton Stanton, who's also medium elite. So it's a difficult situation right now. As well, down in the AHL, because I scratched him, we have to figure out trading away Kevin Fiala. He's up to an 84 overall, but he's just dropped off recently. He has a good second line fit. We know that because our coaches are the same. But he only 42 points last season playing second line. He was an 86 with a +3, and he only scored 42 points. In the playoffs, he did score 12, but I think Kevin Fiala has to be the odd man out. Captains, I don't think the captains change at all. We still have the A's with Boldy, Caprizov, and Sergachev, I think it was. So I don't know if we're ready to name a captain yet, but I'm ready to take votes in the comments if anyone wants to tell me about their thoughts on the leadership for this next season. I think, the obvious candidates would definitely be Toews, Rossi, Greenway, who's our longest-serving player on the team, actually. And yeah, Sergachev, I think, is the only really candidate for the defense. And here we are now ready for the preseason. So I think what we got to do absolutely first is go through the trade blocks, and then you can give me your thoughts heading into next episode. How should this team look? Whether it be a second part of the offseason or we just start next season right away, I got to hear your thoughts. So let's scroll through each and every team quickly. Matt Dumba's on the block. Also, so 1 year left at 7.7. He's 83 overall, and he probably fits all penalty kill lines. And also, I need to say we're sorting by overall. There we go. Evgeny Malkin. He's always a good time. He always simulates fantastically. He could play fourth line center instead of Toews, but I don't know. But Malkin, I don't know if it makes sense to move out Toews. Malkin is always tempting because he sims fantastic, and 62 points last season. Yeah, something to keep in mind. Maybe a deadline kind of thing, even to play wing. Yoel Armia, Jamie Alexiak, Charlie McAvoy, Anthony Beauvillier, Jake DeBrusk, Oliver Shillington. 4 big names on the block there, all with term though. So that's tough. And as well, if you want to know more about any player, just let me know in the Discord server, and I'll send you a picture, or leave a comment and I could leave it for you in text. Charlie Coyle likely fits our lineup, but depth forward. Carolina, Svensson, this prospect, Torsten Svensson, 3rd round pick sniper. Interesting. He's on the block. John Klingberg, Taro Hiroshi, Shea Theodore, Eriksson Ek, these Vertanen, Gamble, they're all on the block in Chicago. Colorado, no one really. Columbus, nobody. Dallas, Tyler Toffoli. Red Wings, Kevin Laban, 86 overall. Fits all forward lines. That's an expensive deal for 4 years. Same for Nick Schmaltz. Jonathan Marchessault, 1 year left on his deal. Fits the 4th line. Yeah, these are deadline kind of moves. Stringer, Zach Sanford, we know he would fit. Bo Horvat, of course. Logan Brown, Bjorkstrand, Gallagher. 1 year left for Gallagher. Doesn't seem to fit. Logan Brown, what's a lot of trade value. David Krejci, he got signed and put on the block. Sidney Crosby, doesn't seem to fit. He's on an expiring deal. Beauregard, Brunstrom, Pittis. Actually, what's Pittis like? Danny Pittis, he's a defensive defenseman, 12th overall selection. That's okay. Colton Parayko, like we said, he's 83 overall now, dropped a little bit over on Ottawa. Flyers are looking to trade everyone again, like they were last trade deadline, but then they changed their minds. So Couturier, Hurdle, Timashov, Danault, Lehkonen, Myers, they are all on the block. Everybody over here. It's a fire sale. Phil Danault, a lot of trade value. We don't know how he fits. Yeah, I don't know. Just keep these names in mind. Sharks, Penguins, Blues, nobody. Lightning, no one really. Just some more prospects. Yarncrow, Niku, Ryan Graves. That's an expensive contract for 3 years. Jake Chikrin, 3 years for him. He's a two-way D, though. Essa Lindell, he's also a two-way D. You'd think that some of these guys would actually be defensive defensemen. Hayek's a defensive defenseman. He was on the block there. And that's it for the trade blocks. No one's super enticing. We do have the trade value. And also, you know what? Another question is, what's going on with the AHL here? Like Nicholas Rodin, 79 overall. Do we try to call him up maybe? We got Crooks, who's at 79 overall. Do we try and call him up? Chekovich is an 80. Benstrom's a 79. There are good options here. Defense, of course. Axel Anderson's an 80. Norlander's an 80. So if we were to trade defense, we say, oh, well, who's going to play there? Even if Korea doesn't work out, there's other options in our system. If I were to say what kind of offers would we get for Mika Tarki from the NHL, could get Svensson in a 3rd, 2 seconds, and Crosby. That's garbage. Prospect Hextall, medium elite, and a 3rd. Nuge in a 3rd, 2 seconds, and Dewar, huh? Zucker in a 2nd, Zach in a 2nd. Yeah. So not the craziest offers. If we said Tarky and Botter, that's a lot of trade value. I don't think there'd be any deals that come our way. No, that's too much value. But we could definitely get a Shabbat, I think. It would just be quite the overpay. And then again, what's up with the power forwards? We have Costin, who has a lot of value. So we got to move out value here. In theory, we could move out a ton of value with Tarky, Botter, Costin or Greenway, and Fiala. That's a good haul we could get back. Maybe, I don't know what else, if we're looking for the big names. Like we said, Matthew Tkachuk, maybe a better power forward. If you want to just see who some of the best players in the league are right now, Nicholas Engqvist, what kind of contract did he sign himself to? Only a 1 year deal again for Nicholas Engqvist. 1 year at 19.275. Just sorting the league by the league's forwards by overall. This is how the league looks. If any names pop out of your trade values that may be a bit lower, just you can go ahead and pause and take a look. I just want to give you an idea. Put Colson, oh, but that's an expensive deal. Christian Fischer, crazy value for him. And just going down the line, I know it's maybe not interesting, but just in theory. And then all the best defensemen in the league. There's a lot of names that we've had pinned. There's a lot of guys. We could go out and scout some more even. So look again, like if we were trading Tarky and Botter, we could probably get any of these guys. Liljegren, I think he fits all defensive pairs. Yeah, Liljegren would be interesting. 7 years at 9.19. But Shabbat, it's better than Shabbat's, more expensive than Shabbat, but 5 more years than Shabbat. Fabro, Hannafin, blah, blah, blah. We got Brandstrom, Ryan Ellis, Bowen Byram. Lots of names. And I'm just curious who some of the best goalies in the NHL are. Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Hart, Dolak. So I think that wraps it up, my friends. Whether it be part 1 of the offseason or the entire offseason, let me know your thoughts for what we should be doing heading into year number 7. We still have $7.665 million in cap space, and we could send out some extension offers if you think that would be a good idea. It would be pretty expensive to get these guys signed on, like Boldy. Maybe try to extend Ellington sooner rather than later. I don't know what's up with Kostin, Tarky, blah, blah, blah. But what are we going to do with the power forwards? What are we going to do with the defense? Are we comfortable with the goaltending? Some of the AHL players we could possibly call up. Maybe naming a captain. There's a lot of questions. So I look forward to hearing all of your thoughts in the next one. Thank you for watching and spending the time, for your investment in this Minnesota Wild series. I would not be able to do it without all of you. So please leave a comment, whether here on YouTube or over in the Discord server, link in the description. And I would love to have a conversation with you. And if you're not already a part of the team, go ahead and subscribe so that you're made aware of all the uploads. And hey, if you enjoyed the offseason, give it a like. It would be much appreciated. Without further ado, once again, thank you so much for spending the time to watch. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.